Is this the most bullish chart in cryptocurrency right now? Guys, we're going to be delving into this chart paired with Bitcoin, as it's now about 3 years overdue for a massive surge in Bitcoin price, guys, and I think now is literally the cusp of when this could happen in this bull cycle. And are we going to see Bitcoin continue to push up here and breach not only 45,000 US dollars, but $50,000 within the next week? Let's dive in. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Marvin Munchalot. And boy, do we have a lot to be delving into today. Guys, literally every single day, Bitcoin seems to be setting a new all-time high, and this is really nothing unexpected. However, guys, right now I'm a little more excited about another coin, and boy, do we have to be jumping into that in today's webisode. So if you guys love gainers, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn those post notifications, and for anybody interested in trading, make sure to check out our links to Bybit below if you have experience and you want to support the channels. $200 bonus and massive, massive opportunity for experienced traders only. Milk in my cup, you know Bitcoin is going up. Look at this absolutely insane weekly chart for Bitcoin. Guys, it really is no lie that this blip here of 20,000 is turning more and more into a little blip. And next thing you know, guys, this thing's going to look even more parabolic within this window right here. The year of 2021 highlighted here in between this blue and green box right here. We're just at the beginning. And actually, as far out as we are zoomed right now, if Bitcoin continued this trajectory, whether we, let's just draw some dips in there throughout the year. Guys, this is only $100,000 per Bitcoin if this is what the trajectory would look like. Even the least bullish people out there still are expecting 6 digits by the end of 2021. So for that low ball to be met, $100,000 would have to be met. And that is exactly what this chart would look like on the scale. So you can see here, even the very low estimates of Bitcoin's price would still look absolutely insane in terms of these gainers. But let's take a look at even what some of the higher, it's absolutely insane. We can't even really chart it on here because the top for Bitcoin could be absolutely outrageous, okay? So before we get into the most bullish chart I think I've seen on these charts, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin first, because this chart that I'm talking about is in fact not Bitcoin. So one thing we see here is that Bitcoin's momentum still remains insanely strong even on these short time frames. Yesterday, this is on the 6-hour chart. Yesterday we actually had a pretty decent pullback. It was nothing really substantial in terms of a pullback. This was nothing substantial at all, but we did move from about 40.5 down to about 36,000 US dollars, about a 10% drop that, as you can see on this 6-hour chart, was immediately bought up. We did not even visit this 21 moving average here on the 6-hour chart, which is about 35,000. Now guys, we have a lot to be getting into in this video, but first I want to say this. If we're going to get a pullback in the short term right now where Bitcoin's price lies, I think the best scenario for a short-term pullback and potentially still heading up after that pullback to yet again set another new all-time high, I'm really eyeing up about the $35,000 level exactly. So on the 6-hour chart, that's exactly where a 21 moving average is, which we revisit over and over again, as you can see on this chart. Going back basically to the beginning of this parabolic move, if we go to the 4-hour chart, you can see it is a key fib level right here. It's a very big level where we did get a very strong, it was our last big rejection that you can see though was still bought up within a 4-hour candle here. And even, that was the 4-hour chart, and even on the 1-hour chart, still a pretty big level here. So if we're going to get a pullback, as long as we remain anywhere above $35,000 as of today with our current price action, it's still extremely bullish. I personally think that a strong bounce would be right at about 35,000. However, I personally think we still have a very nice chance to, again, set new highs. Currently, where we've gotten rejected as of right now is basically right at exactly 42,000 US dollars, which we see very often at these big round numbers. Yesterday, for example, $40,000 even was one of the levels that we got a rejection. We ultimately did push above 40,000. But when we first approached it, we did obviously get rejected there. We see that happening now with about 42,000 as well. Now, I feel like a lot of people would be panicking if that did happen, if we broke below 40,000, below 37, and hit 35,000. But guys, what I'm saying here, if you gather anything in terms of a pullback from this video, anywhere above 35,000 is extremely bullish, and I personally would love to see it even revisit this kind of trend line of this parabolic move, which as of right now would be right at about 35,000 here on the daily chart. Now, it may come as no surprise, but I personally have become just so bullish on Ethereum based on what we've been seeing, and we're going to pull up another chart here that we showed you at the beginning, but you can see here we're extremely close to breaking Ethereum's all-time highs, which were right about 1440-ish, 1420. Okay, so we're about $200 away from that right now. Again, very likely that we break this very soon, within the next 7 days. But ultimately, guys, this is on the USD pairing, but ultimately this is absolutely insane. So the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, this goes back over 3 years now. This actually goes back over 4 years at this point. So this is the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, and you see Ethereum has quite often broken very bullishly in Bitcoin's pairing and gained a lot of value in its Bitcoin pairing, actually all the way up to about 15% of a Bitcoin, and this was back in the middle of 2017. The first half of 2017 was 100% basically an Ethereum and altcoin bull run, but primarily an Ethereum bull run. And then the second half of 2017, really, Bitcoin, obviously, it was a huge Bitcoin bull run, and then basically an everything bull run. Basically, the last half of 2017, everything exploded to insane levels. For the time being, it was a bubble. It burst, and now we're actually getting true valuations of prices of even higher than what they ballooned to back in 2017, because again, the real value of some of these projects is coming to light a little bit. But guys, if you take a look at this chart, this is honestly one of the most bullish things that I've seen, and it just adds to my bullishness on Ethereum. Okay, I personally think that even though Ethereum is valued as the second most valuable cryptocurrency, it's huge. Everyone knows about Ethereum. Even though that's the case, I personally still think that it's undervalued. Currently, it trades, as I'm recording this, at less than 3% of Bitcoin's price. As of right now, it's roughly 2.9% of Bitcoin's price. And like I said, I think 1 or 2 videos ago, I think that 10% of Bitcoin's price is like the minimum that it should be trading at. Okay, you saw back here in 2017, it reached about 15%, and then it kind of topped out right around 10%. And ever since then, it's kind of been on a downtrend. However, as you can see, after finding support kind of towards the end of 2019 on this pairing, it has kind of just fallen into some sort of symmetrical triangle here. And I think it's incredibly more likely that we're going to see a big break in this pairing for Ethereum to the upside, potentially all the way to 15, even 20% of a Bitcoin if we get a full breakout out of this triangle. And another thing I want to add to this here, so Galaxy BTC here tweeted this just a few hours ago: the most bullish chart and still in the accumulation phase. Look what happens when it actually starts pumping. Basically, he has a target up here of maybe 45 to 50% of a Bitcoin, which at current valuations, if Ethereum did actually attain 50% of Bitcoin's value, 1 Ether would be roughly $20,000 in the short term. Now, again, that's a very bullish scenario. I'm a little less bullish than that as of right now, but it's not something that I think is impossible. I just don't want to get too bullish in this video, but do I think that this is a possibility? Absolutely. Okay, I think Ethereum is just one of those projects, or just a project that is going to get some institutional inflows, okay? Because so far it's only been Bitcoin, basically. Obviously, next up would be Ethereum, and I think fundamentally Ethereum has a lot going for it. So much is built on the platform, and yeah, there's only so much Bitcoin. Is it likely that some value starts to get recognized, realized, and thrown into Ethereum? That's 100% exactly what I think. So yeah, this is just a really good illustration of this, and the key thing here is that this is still in the accumulation phase, guys. Huge difference here, because as you can see with Bitcoin, Bitcoin obviously still in an accumulation phase. I think we're going to be hitting minimum $200,000 at some point in the year 2021 for Bitcoin's price, right? I personally think like $180,000 per Bitcoin specifically is like my minimum target for Bitcoin in the year 2021. So still very far off, still has a lot of room to grow here. But obviously, if you look on Bitcoin's chart, the best time to accumulate Bitcoin over the last 3 to 4 years has passed. And that's obvious to anyone. Anybody looking at this chart isn't going to say, well, this is the best time to buy Bitcoin in the last 4 years. Let's be realistic. It's not. This is not the best time to buy Bitcoin. This is not the best time to long Bitcoin, even though I think it's going to keep going up from here. I think right now the risks are a little bit higher than, at least for me, comfortably to do something like that. in the short term. Okay, long term, like I said, I think we have a lot more valuation to come into Bitcoin, but that's not the case with Ethereum. I personally think that the real explosiveness for Ethereum hasn't come yet, right? We've had, what have we even had? Let's take a look over like the last 2 weeks. We've had about an 80% pump in the last 2 weeks, which is pretty remarkable, but we have not even hit all-time highs yet. We haven't entered any sort of actual alt season at all. Even though we've seen some alts pump, guys, this is like the beginning for most alts. This is literally nothing yet for what altcoins will do throughout the year. And I think right now, maybe the best buying opportunity that I'm personally seeing is Ethereum. And that's why at these levels, I'm still accumulating Ethereum right now. And like I said about a week ago, I think when I said I recommended to one of my close friends about Ethereum, I just think Ethereum is such a good opportunity around these levels for a long-term outlook. Again, like I said, for the next 12 months even, which isn't super long term, but 12 months is a pretty substantial amount of time in terms of what we're going to see in the next 12 months. Because what we're going to see in the next 12 months is just immense growth. For the first time in history, we've now passed, as of like the last few days, we've passed $1 trillion for the entire cryptocurrency market cap. Guys, to me, what I see this $1 trillion purple horizontal line as is basically the starting of the race. This is where I see we've just now crossed the starting line for the race and the finish line for the race that could end in 2021 or end of 2021, maybe middle of 2022, even if it pushes out a little bit longer than people expect. The finish line for what I expect is way up here, right? Is a $10 trillion market cap for all of crypto possible within the next 12 months? You would be insane to think it's not at least possible. Is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. Nothing is guaranteed. But is it possible? Yes. And I personally think that that is a very realistic price point to look for the entire crypto market over the next 12 months. Guys, with that being said, this is actually really interesting as well. Now we've actually come up to the 21-day moving average here for the DXY. Now this is critical. If we actually manage to continue to stay and hold above the 21-day moving average for support, I think that'll give us a really nice idea of where crypto's trajectory could head over the next few weeks. But ultimately, you can see two pretty strong daily candles here. But yeah, DXY needs to bounce. It can't just go straight down only forever. But ultimately, I still think the trajectory for the DXY, the US dollar index, which puts the US dollar against a basket of other currencies, to the test. So basically, the value of the US dollar is depreciating against some of these other currencies, whether it's the euro, the Swiss franc, Japanese yen. I think there's like 3 or 4 other ones that it is compared to there. But ultimately, yeah, I think the US dollar is not going to be good, not going to be looking good, especially as the Fed just continues to print money here. And guys, as well, we see this here. When I think Ethereum's really going to kick off is when we actually surpass this level here for the entire altcoin space of roughly about $500 billion for the entire cryptocurrency space minus Bitcoin. Huge. So with that being said, currently right now on the 1 hour chart, we are testing the 21 moving average on the 1 hour chart, which we've been doing over and over and over again. And then when we breach the 21, we always go and find support, at least we have so far, and we've bounced at the 50 moving average here, aside from the actual last substantial pullback we had, which as you can see still barely got any 1 hour closes below any key critical levels, and we ended up setting a bearish reversal and then a bullish cross. So a bearish cross and then a bullish cross immediately, basically. So yeah, Bitcoin still has momentum here in the short term. But if we are going to get a pullback, the level I want you to look for is 35,000. That lines up on all of the time frames here. It would just be a very big even number if we're going to get a pullback to find support. But guys, more importantly, the point of this video really is to show you just what's in store for Ethereum, okay? Mark my words. If there's any opportunity that I'm extremely bullish on right now, it shouldn't really come as a surprise because, again, Ethereum's not some kind of like hidden gem with like a $5 million market cap or like under $100 million market cap. It's literally the second biggest cryptocurrency. However, I still think people are going to underestimate it, okay? Just because it's the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap doesn't mean that people are actually underestimating what it actually can do. All right, so let's pick a winner for the webisode. We'll do the last 5 videos, I believe it was. Okay, so video number 2, copy link address. All right, so we're gonna paste the address in here, guys, and make sure to reply to your comment and also shoot me an email. And here we go, pick a winner. Yeah, just let me know if you want the access to T4 or if you want Bitcoin. So Peter D says USA going down the toilet. This is good for Bitcoin. Exactly. That's why we bring up the DXY chart. as with the decisions the Fed has made for the US dollar, this is good for Bitcoin, right? You see this resounding topic spread throughout the space, and we've seen it play out in spades over the last year. And again, if this continues here, this is our last level of decent support here from 2018, around 88.2, 88.3. Breaches there, guys, prepare. I'm actually shocked that Bitcoin has been performing so strong over the last 2 days, specifically as the DXY has been having a little bit of a bounce here. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. And as well, guys, if you have experience trading and you want to support the channel, make sure to check out our links to Bybit below, up to $200 deposit bonus there if you're interested in trying to leverage your assets against this market.